did I not get insults of my life? And
Yeah.
including hormones.
Yes.
Hey, I went off. Anka stene ba tshwatla koloi.
O tletse mo founung?
Ke founela ke cousin. Yeah, my husband. A re ko tshwatla koloi ya hao. Ha ke bua le wena nou tjena, she's busy pulling out your handles.
Hi everyone, happy 2024, happy new year. I'm so excited about this year, guys. Anyway, welcome to O Narrative Podcast by myself, Promise Magunyane. This podcast is about marriage and family dynamics. And guys, if you'd like to be on my podcast, please write us your story. I'm going to leave an email address on the screen. Write us your story. At the end of your story, put in your WhatsApp number so that after vetting your story, we can be able to contact you via WhatsApp. And if you want to be a guest here and speak about your marriage, family dynamics, it could be like siblingship, an uncle or whatever, or mother-daughter relationship kind of a vibe. Even if you're not married, you do have family dynamics somewhere, somehow. So yeah, reach out to me and come and sit with me. Guys, I'm so excited about this year, but we'll speak about it some other time. But anyway, guys, today I'm sitting with a TikTok fella. My tribe. But my husband this, my husband that. Guys.
Oh my goodness.
This is as I won't say a smaller version of me, it's another version of me. You know, I see her TikTok, I'm like, this actually is me, you know, a woman who has her chest here will tell you that my husband this, my husband that. Mrs. M. Welcome, madam. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Are you shy? You're not a shy person at all.
No. I am.
Hanyad. Yeah. Thank you for making time to come. And I thought I should open 2024 with sit down with my fellow wives, you know. Mm-hmm. And people were asking me, Promise, you always talking about the negative side of a marriage on your podcast, you know, and you have to bring wives. And I was like, it's difficult for me to get wives to come here and speak. I once got a wife. I had to take down the episode because wives are not always willing to speak about their marriages because of the backlash that come with it. What do you think about that? Like, what do you think about what I just said?
Well, I think marriage on its own is a journey, right? So I believe you and your partner need to have an understanding, right? So in having an understanding, it means that you are also allowed to have a voice. If you're not happy about something, you speak up, which is something that me and my husband have. I'm allowed to speak about anything and everything that hurts me. And that is one thing that people don't understand about me.
About you. Yes. You speak up. Yeah, one thing about you, you speak up.
Whether I'm happy, I'm sad, I am going to speak up. I speak my truth.
Yeah. And I think another misunderstanding about, because people are like, you always bring people that are speaking ill of marriage or the negatives of marriage, and you're not bringing happily married couples or happily married wives. And I'm like, I don't know if there is such a thing as happily married somebody because of the ups and downs that is marriage, you know. So I believe in calling it a thriving marriage. We do have happy times, 100%. And the happy times supersides the bad times.
Yes, that is one thing that people don't understand. People have this narrative that marriage should always be gold and glitters and whatever. But it's not like that. With marriage, it comes with ups and downs. It comes with the good and the bad times, you know. So I'm one person who always tell people if I'm not happy. I will put it out there if my husband did something. Because he speaks up. That is one thing about my husband. He's not shy. He will speak up about something. You know, so there's no such thing, we are happy 100%. No. Maybe 90% of the time we are happy. Maybe 20% of the time we fight or we quarrel about this and that. And that is something that happens in my marriage.
Yeah. That's exactly that. Because, they think they're happily married. No. I'm thriving in my marriage.
We are making it work.
We are making
together.
it work together every
and we are
single
not
day.
giving up on each other.
No.
Yes.
And I think that's the difference between somebody that says, yeah, you are in a bad marriage, and the next person is like saying that I'm pretending to be in a good marriage, and then the next person is in a bad marriage and stuff like that. I'm like, it's just the difference in the people in that marriage.
Yes.
Myself and my husband, we want to work on our marriage.
Yes.
We do wrong. We
Yes.
say wrong things. But the fact that both of us are still willing to say,
Yes.
let's sort it out.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
You don't give up on each other.
You don't give up.
Yes.
It's just actually that is the perfect way to put it. You just don't give
You
up on
don't
each
give
other.
up. It's a fight that is continuing. I don't want to use the word fight,
Yeah.
but it's a journey.
It's a journey.
It's a journey that two people need to decide. Once you get into marriage, you need to decide if you are in it for good,
yeah.
or you are going to stop halfway. With me and my husband, we said it is forever. And forever means even if we have disagreements,
Yeah.
even if we don't see eye to eye, at the end of the day, we are still going to hold hands and say, you know what, we walked into this together and we are going to make it work.
Yeah.
Yes.
When did you get married?
2019,
How?
on the 21st of November.
November. So why on Christmas Day you were saying it's your anniversary?
Oh, 2019 was the day we signed for Home Affairs.
Okay.
And then we had our traditional white wedding on the 25th of December in 2021.
Why 25th Latimana? You guys know everyone has got food on that day. Nobody's gonna come to your house and eat. Why did you guys choose the 25th of December?
I don't know, man. We just, we planned, we saved. Remember, I always say that we didn't always have money.
Yeah.
We started by renting, and then we started saving. You understand? We saved until okay, we have enough money.
Yeah.
And then we decided upon the 25th because we wanted every Christmas also to be
Okay.
a special day for the both of us. Yes.
So when did you meet your husband and where?
I met my husband 2019. I'm telling you.
Hey, but if he wants to, he will.
Yes, we dated for 3 months and then he married me. Just
How
like
did that happen?
Well, I was first I was on leave. I was based here in Joburg.
Yeah.
And then I had a car accident. And then I had to go back home and recover.
Where's home?
Free State, Virginia. So I had to go back home and recover, the healing process.
Yes.
So I had some work documents that I needed to certify. I went to the police station, and here was this guy busy annoying me with my numbers instead of doing his job.
Yeah.
And then the second time around, I still had to go back. And then he still, pursued me, and I said no. Funny enough, I was with my niece at the time. I think she was only like 12. And then the third time I went there again, it's still the same guy helping me. And then my niece was pulling me back. It's like, mofedi number. Offer the number.
Yes.
I'll the number.
Yes.
And I just gave in.
He's a policeman.
Yes, he's a police officer. Can't do. That's how I'm going to meet my husband.
Yeah. And then 3 months later, he's like,
3 months later. Well, he told me on I think the first month, he told me that you're my wife.
Oh.
And I'm going to marry you. I'm not going to engage you. I'm going to
marry you.
I don't have time for the engagement or whatnot. He was engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm not playing this time around.
Yes.
Yeah. And then second month, he introduced me to his family. They gave him his blessings. Yeah.
And then you guys got married. You went to sign.
We went to sign 2019. 2020, we did the traditional parts. Yeah.
Ha!
Yeah. 3 months.
Like, ladies, if he wants to,
He will.
he will. And one thing about men, they know.
Men always know what they want.
They
I
know.
always preach this.
Yeah.
These men know what they want.
It's us who don't know.
Yeah. Confused. We are
Yes.
confused all the time.
No, men know. Like, men know.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have kids?
Yes, we do. When my husband met me, I had my son, Bohlali. He was, I think, 2 years at the time. Yeah. And then he has other kids from his previous relationship. Yes.
Was he married or just engaged?
No, just engaged. He was not
Okay.
married.
And how many kids does he have that side?
He has 3 kids.
Okay. How old are they?
13, 11, and 10.
Yeah.
So,
hey. Balekane.
yeah.
And how is your relationship with their mother or with the children?
I get along with 2 baby mamas. And then
Oh, it's 3 different baby
3
mamas.
different baby mamas. My husband was a naughty boy. trust
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
And it's something he's not proud of. He always tells me that the reason I don't cheat is because and I will get caught.
And
I
that's-
don't want to cheat because
Yes.
ke itse bana ke jwang. So he yeah.
What he says is what my dad likes saying, that if I try this thing, I always have, like,
There's backlash.
yeah, he
The
says
consequences
he's
to
too
the day.
fertile. So
Yes.
when he goes out, he'll leave a child.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that he made vows and he promised, okay, I'm not going to be this person. I once was this person, but I'm not going to be this person. But he says another reason that he will never cheat is because he knows
The consequences.
Yes, and he doesn't want that.
Yeah. So now the 3 baby mamas, was he married to all of them?
No, not even. Not even. It was just, girlfriend, money.
Yes.
Yeah. But he was engaged to one.
Okay.
He
Is
was
it the last one?
I wouldn't say the last one.
Like the last girlfriend, the last
Not
child?
No, is it? No, it's the second one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was, how do I put it?
Yeah.
She was the main.
Okay, then during the relationship, he
Yes.
made those other 2.
Yes.
Are you not scared that will happen to you as well?
No. I mean, if it does, I would walk away. I wouldn't put myself through that because I'm one person. If I love with everything, So I wouldn't want my husband to disrespect me in that kind of manner. So if he would do it, trust me, I would. Despite how much I love this man,
Yeah.
I would leave. I would walk away.
So you said on one of your videos, you said, and while you're still on the walking away, you mentioned Gabo Christmas Day that your other deal breaker, your husband, ke ngwana bo mma.
Yes.
What's guy mo? Where is the problem?
Yo. Okay, the issue is my in-laws don't like me. It's not something that happened from the beginning. It happened along the way.
That they don't like you along the way.
We used to get along.
Yeah.
We used to get along so much. And then it happened that my sister-in-law didn't like me. And she told me from day one straight up that I don't like you. And I was happy with the fact that she told me so that I know which boundaries, don't cross this boundary.
Yeah.
This person doesn't like you. Don't do this and that. Don't overstep you. So there was always something with my sister-in-law. There was always something. It was either I did something, I said something, and I was always called in. Meeting after meeting. I'm telling you, meeting after meeting. Until I said to my husband, you know what? I don't feel like And then he said to me, why? Because you're always crying when you come back. So for your peace, for your peace of mind, don't go. If they complain now, I'll deal with it. Just don't go. So no, Jenna, it's bad. It's really bad.
Where is your husband's home?
Virginia.
In Virginia as
Yes,
well.
like 5 minutes away.
What did you fight for with your sister-in-law? What were you guys fighting about?
Nothing.
The brother.
Nothing.
Or did he love the other?
Yes, my sister-in-law got along with the baby mama, the one that was engaged. They were besties, like very close. So I think, Leona, it contributed somehow.
Yeah.
My husband had 2 sisters. The other one passed on. I used to get along with this one that passed on.
Yeah.
But this one, Metsile Oli.
How old is she? Rakgadi?
Umuholo, I think, if not, ulata the 40s. Umuholo.
Is she not married herself?
She's married.
Hey, Benong.
But when I got into the family, when I walked into the family, she was not married. She was newly divorced.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she remarried.
She remarried again.
Okay. And then now you and your husband, you have kids.
We do have one.
One. How old?
1 year, 6 months.
Oh, when I was talking, you don't look like you're a mother for 1 year, 6 months. Body tick. Hey, but bathong. Only us.
Kajim, I'm working very hard.
I really need to start working very hard.
I work very hard. I was very big. I 109 kg. Yeah.
109 kg.
Yeah, after birth. Now I'm sitting on 70.
Yeah. So on your TikTok, you spoke about the story behind you and your sister-in-law fighting. What is that story? What happened?
I think it was just pettiness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think you explained the whole
yeah,
scenario.
I explained everything into detail. Ne?
I want you to explain.
Yeah, what happened was, me and my husband share a month. This month,
January.
January. So we always celebrated month end to accommodate the both of us, right? So that day, 2020, I remember well, I didn't want to exclude anyone, especially Kilabana, I'm new into the family. So I invited everyone. I wanted to accommodate everyone, especially his family. So we were in town that day, and his sister, the eldest, she wasn't working at the time. And I decided, you know what, I gave her money, and then this one, where's mine? No, I didn't budget because she was working.
Yeah.
I didn't budget for you. You understand? I think Leon until it contributed somehow.
Yeah.
You understand? So, I don't have money. I already told you I don't have money.
Yes.
And trust me, if I did have money that day, I would have given it to her. I would have. So, boyfriend because it's month end, and I believe yo. Okay, later on, later on, she comes into the kitchen and tells me that I don't want food because I'm drinking. Container. And then I packed the food into a lunchbox, I gave it to her. I kinya kara cooler box. Later on, I think she was drunk.
Yeah.
Later on, I'm in the kitchen still. Obatla, that very same lunchbox.
Yes.
I'm like, but I gave it to you. Lena, I was drinking. So the elder sister-in-law walks in and she's big. I was very tiny.
Yes.
I'm already crying in the kitchen. And then, the elder sister-in-law took over. That one loved me. I'm not gonna lie. My elder sister-in-law loved me. Lord bless her soul wherever she's resting. Because you understand? So they fought. I didn't report to my husband was just outside. I didn't tell my husband what was happening.
What was happening?
Yeah. My sister-in-law took over. They fought, like physically fought.
The sisters?
Yes, the sisters fought. My husband, I say,
this woman is coming here to
exactly. No, but he was angry that I didn't tell him. He was angry because he's like, I could have protected you from the get-go. None of this was necessary. I would have dealt with it. I don't care if I had to give a few slaps here and there, but I would have done my job as your husband, you know. But I didn't want to. The reason I didn't tell my husband was because as a man to handle it.
Yeah,
Exactly. So
so where's the mom?
My mother-in-law.
Yes.
She's still there.
What is she saying, Yana?
Nothing.
Do you talk to her?
Not anymore. We are no longer on speaking terms.
When last did you speak to these people? When last did you go there?
I think it was last year when my mother-in-law needed medical assistance. And that was me also trying to reach out to her because she wasn't well, man. And I said to my husband, you know what? Let's take her to the hospital. And we did exactly that. And mind you, for the duration of 2.5 weeks that she was there, I was the only one going to see her.
Oh.
Everything. Yeah.
So, but still, she doesn't stand by you. And
blood is thicker than water at the end of the day.
Sure. And then your husband now made a ruling that you must not, just save yourself from my family.
You know what? I feel like deep down my husband wants this whole thing eloge, but
I'm sure.
yes, he's caught in the middle. I'd like to believe, but at the end of the day, ke familia high, you know, and he's not gonna poke them about me, whereas he knows. Sometimes he even avoids going habon, especially if we are not on good terms.
Yeah.
Because half it topic it
Sure.
yeah.
And then on Christmas Day, it was your anniversary, and he decided to go home. Like he always go home.
Yes.
What happened? Did you like, no, kwatile mola TikTok mola
Ebile
was
ha o
like,
bua ka yona ke kwata
"Oh, kwata."
Kala boswa. O e qala qalong, ha o bua ka yona e qala from scratch. I was so pissed. Literally. And we fought. We fought. I'm like, I am done. Khathong. Ke be ke mmotsa ke re wena, are you married to your mother? I was so pissed. Listen, I'm not against my husband going to see his family, especially on Christmas Day. I mean, I'm sure we'd all like to do that. But we have a home together, we have kids.
Yeah.
I mean, in the morning, he knocked off on Christmas Day in the morning because
Yeah.
he was doing night shift. He was working night shift.
Okay.
And then he said to me, no, he says about a lady, a sound system. Ne. Ka mmotsa ka re, on our anniversary, no, I'm not going to stay long.
Yes.
Ke tlo ya and then be ke kgutla. I think guy ha fitla mo fitlile le monate le di botlolo a dula. And when he came back, he was so happy, he was so jolly.
What's your guy?
And I'm like, the nerve. I'm like, the nerve. Are you serious? He walked in through the door and we were sitting down eating. And I looked at him and he's so happy to me. He calls Bana like the eldest Bobo.
Yeah.
And then Aminyani Jojo.
Yes.
Bobo, Jojo. And I'm looking at this guy. I'm like
I'm angry.
I'm like, come here, let me bite you.
Wait, prior to the 25th, don't you prepare? What happened down? You're like, your anniversary, you starting to speak about.
No, he knew. And the worst part is, he was the one that initiated it. That's why I was extra pissed. I think if he kept quiet, and like, okay, you know, maybe it's like born.
Yes.
But the fact that he kept going on and on about it, and then in the midst of it, he lost our pictures. So I have everything.
Yeah.
And then he asked me, keep busy. I'm sending.
Yes, for the day.
Kanti, my husband is going to go and spend Christmas Eve. Liboma.
Patung.
And I feel like, in a way, his parents know. They know, you understand. And sometimes I feel like it's been done intentionally. Not that I blame them, I blame my husband.
Yeah.
But I feel like they call him intentionally, Hore, so that he's away from me.
Yes.
Because my mother-in-law once initiated divorce.
I heard you say that.
Yes.
How did she do that?
We had a fight. Ne? Ke re le nna ke trompeta ke kgone ho thola
Eh,
sometimes.
rapelwe wena o trompeta
Ke
yo.
trompeta yo ke a bua shame. So she was ne re dula le ngwana wa ausi wa monna wa ka, the eldest.
Okay.
The one that I used to get along with.
The one pass.
Yeah. So she came to check on the son. So ebele hore the grandson, I mean, ebele hore o fihla mo ntse re di jwetsana wa bona. Are why le sa divorce? Monna ka je ka mo sheba hore
My old lady.
are hore divorce ang a ke re le dula le lwana. Bathong. And then my husband was hurt by that. Instead of why would you initiate divorce? Because you never left my dad. And I know the situation
Between
in
you
Elizwa.
guys.
Yes. You never left my dad. Instead, you could be fixing, but no, here you are telling us to divorce. And trust me, it didn't happen once. It didn't happen once.
Yeah.
There were times whereby she would, okay, she's a nurse by profession. Okay, those people legit hate me
Why do you think they hate you?
because I stood up for myself.
Okay.
They hate me because but they used to love me because I used to attend meetings, and I would just sit there and take whatever it is that they're saying and come back crying, you know. They loved me when I was quiet. The moment I said enough is enough, because remember, I come from a very quiet family. I don't
your
come,
own family.
my family. Not that ke batla ho beha batho ba ha rona ka botleng, but I don't come from family e hula hula nang, ke la bona. And my dad always said to me, if you're not happy about something, speak up.
Speak up.
I didn't raise you o thole, o bontsho dula o lla, you understand? So I started standing up for myself. I stood up for myself and everything changed.
They were like, this one.
Oh no, silo, oh no.
O sele na le mollo.
Yeah, and she told me straight to my face, "Yena hana ngwetsi."
When you are in it, was
Nah, I'm in it.
You are in it.
I am in it. And what I love is that I'm in it with my husband.
with your husband. I think that's the good.
Yeah, I'm in it with my husband. She told me straight up because it was the funeral of my sister-in-law. And it was during the COVID times. I told my husband, you know what? I know the situation. Mamela, it's not just the sister-in-law that hates me.
Yeah.
Le mmangwane a mpatli. And now she hated me. We went to a party. My husband invited me. And then she was passing a fate. She passed a comment.
Hey, Maralue, Namakoti.
I wasn't even Makoti by then. Arona. Araukopa.
What is scoop? Oh, he
We
didn't ask you.
Yeah. We didn't ask you
To take care of him.
Mamela party ile ya fela. I was there with my sister. My sister ke chesa scope.
Like upside
Put a
down.
sound system ai kenya koloing retsa ma party fela during the day. So since that day she has always hated me since
Wait,
that
are
day.
they not saying that Ojijizeng wanabona? Are they not
No, I've
saying
never
that?
heard that one.
Yeah.
I'm still expecting that one. Yeah. This one. I've never heard it. I'm not gonna lie. But they've never said it to my face. And even the people that they talk to, Kanna, they've never even uttered a word.
But then I don't think if they'll believe it, because if your husband is still woma, they can still see or there is some bit of control that they have.
Yes.
So now your husband goes and spends Christmas, your anniversary at his house. At his mother's house.
At his mother's house.
Does he always does that? Like, does he always just, when you guys plan something and then he decides to go home?
Not always.
Yeah.
It's not always. I think it's part of the reason why it's easy to forgive him, because looking back, wale ka shame. He's trying.
Yeah.
No jena ufahlwe ke dust fela, you know. So it's not an ongoing thing. Last Christmas, he was working day shift and I spent it with my family because he was not there.
Yeah.
We bride go high and then I took some food when he knocked off. So it's not always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is he?
32, still young.
Oh, he's still young.
Yeah.
And then his children are that old.
Yeah. Bad boy.
No, but now he's good, Mos.
Yeah.
Now he's good.
Yeah. But he used to be a bad boy, even in school.
Are you not scared that this person is literally a bad boy?
My husband is a bad boy, but he's good to me. He's a bad boy out there, but he has that soft side.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
He's someone that will protect me from anything and everything.
Oh.
But I know he has that bad side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you not scared that sometimes he's going to like come out and he be himself? Because obviously we're still young.
No. In as much as I believe he's a bad boy,
Yeah.
he's also a prayer warrior.
Okay.
He's contained by the Holy Spirit, I'd like to think. Yamo container, whether he likes it or not. Sometimes he wants to be bad, but
Yeah.
that thing always,
Contains him.
yeah.
And how old are you?
29 this year.
But are you 29?
29.
I'm thinking you are like maybe 35 and then your husband is in his 40s. The things that you are saying, that's what I'm thinking. No, then though I understand, because for me, I feel that in marriage, we grow.
Yeah.
We grow, and if someone was a bad boy, he's going to outgrow being a bad
Yes,
boy.
eventually.
Yeah.
Mamela, this guy, when I met him, he used to go to Groove. Say, That was my husband before.
The following day.
And one thing I love about him, remember I said that in one of my videos, we almost reached a point, divorce. And he was the one that initiated therapy. He was sitting there telling the therapist, one thing about this woman, she saved me from a lot of things.
That's what my husband always say.
My husband will legit tell you, this woman saved me from a lot of things because I was bad, man, I was bad. But now I'm a father, yeah, so.
That's what my husband say. He says it in a way that my husband was a bad. And he was a bad that had a lot of money, so you can understand.
Yeah.
So he says that when we got married, he did not entirely want to get married. But because I wanted to get married and he wanted to be with me, and I had told him that there's no way that you're playing with me. Like, there's no way that I'm playing.
You knew what you wanted.
I knew that what I wanted. And for him, he was like, okay, I'll do it because this person is going to leave me if I don't marry him. But then now he's like, you just don't know what you need as a man.
Yeah.
So when we got married, he was like, now in hindsight, that's what I needed. God knew what I needed.
At that time.
And
he didn't see that. That's what my husband says all the time. My husband, Lena, I don't think, because I had to come back to work after recovery, I don't think he was ready for marriage. But he always said to me, if you leave me, you go lata. And go lata ka base. He always say that to me, you know. And within 3 weeks of dating, he bought me a phone because I had recently lost my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy one betcha ka phone. And then he says to me, I'm spoiling you. It means you are here to stay. You're not going anywhere. You are my wife. Whether I want to get married or not, you are my wife.
My wife.
That's what he said from
the
beginning.
Yeah. It's so amazing because men, as women, we see things. Men will see things in like from backwards. As I already see.
You saw the future.
This is my husband.
This is where you are going.
This is my husband. In the midst of everything, this is my man.
Yes.
This is the father of my children.
Yes.
For him, it was like, okay, I'm sticking because she wants this and then I love her. But then if I would choose, I'll just choose to marry her because that's what she wants.
Yeah.
But actually, I just want to be a bad boy, you know. But now in hindsight, he's like, you saved my life. Our marriage saved my life.
Yes.
I'm seeing now from backwards.
Yes.
That had I not been married then,
I wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't even be alive for that matter.
That's what my husband says all the time. All the time. Every time when I say, you know what, and I say that,
I'm still here. Yes.
You are my wife. We are in this together. That's what he says to me.
I think that's you see, when you're growing in marriage with people, I think that's the most fulfilling part where you see that the fights are changing now.
Yes, and for the mere fact, I always say, if someone doesn't give up on you,
yes,
I'm not saying I'm perfect. I am not perfect.
And trompeta yewe can make a man to divorce you tomorrow.
I'm telling you, it was even worse during pregnancy. This guy stood with me during pregnancy, and in if you think no, I was worse. I was 10 times worse.
Yeah.
I hated my husband. I'm not gonna lie. I hated this man when I was pregnant. I don't know if it was hormones, but even when he was sitting just there breathing, I would just cry.
Yeah.
Because his breathing annoyed me.
He went through it, Shem.
He went through it with me, and he never gave up. So I think that's what makes me stay. Even Lahayen's apostle.
You have to give him the same grace.
Yes, I remember everything that he did for me. You understand? And not forgetting the fact that this man took in my son as his own.
Oh yes, Kana, you have a firstborn.
Yes.
Do you think as a mother, like going into marriage with a child, you have like sort of like a, how can I put it? You sort of like have a less say. For example, or how can I put it? Like when I entered my marriage with my husband, I never had kids, right? And then like there's nothing. So maybe if I come with a child and I see how he treats this child, how he's so considerate, and how anybody else can just mistreat my child. I think when you already have a child, your biggest fear is your child being mistreated by your partner.
Yes.
So do you think now the fact that you've got another child into your marriage plays a huge role in you like staying with your husband? And I don't know how to ask this question. Do you get what I'm saying?
I think
maybe answer and see if
yes,
so
I think I
see.
understand. I would say even if my husband treats my child like his own, if my husband messes up, I am gone.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yes. Even if my husband, remember Lena, my husband has kids and I accepted these kids.
Yeah.
Although one of the kids, because of the baby mama, we cannot, have a relationship.
Yeah.
That is why I always say my husband has 2 kids. You understand? Why? Because I was told straight up to my face, "Some kids is how." You understand? I wanted all these kids together under one roof.
Yeah.
Not to say ke batla nka ngwana wa motho, but I wanted our kids to have a relationship so that they know each other.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
But unfortunately with this one, it's not possible because I understand frustration and thing.
What
She
is her
feels like
frustration?
I took her man.
Is it the last one that you, or the middle one?
The one that was engaged. Yeah.
Yeah.
She feels like I took her man.
And they married you.
Yes. So I just stepped back, impose. Let me not impose. Let me not force anything. Because why? It even got to a point where we went to court together.
With who?
With the baby mama.
You and the baby mama?
Yeah.
Nelilwani?
Okay, in she would call my husband every time.
Yeah.
And the first thing, every time my husband picked his call, I would get insulted.
Okay.
Very bad. And I understood. I kept saying, she hasn't healed. Let's give her time. But now, 2 years later, it's still the same thing. Every time I have food, how, like bad words. That goes
Yeah.
vile. And then that one day I just lost it, I got into the car. I have one. I lost it, honestly. I
Yes.
got into
That's what I
yeah,
feel.
and when I get there, I was very pissed, You can imagine what happened. And the next thing, via police station.
Tshwarisa.
Obviously, because, okay, I don't want to put it like that, but
Yeah.
by Itzalong gets a protection order. So I don't get a protection order. Linda can wait a protection order.
Yes.
Why? Because I've let it slide for 2 years. You've been insulting me. You
Yeah.
know, you've been doing this and that, but now I'm retaliating, and we're not gets a protection order. So come it's a protection order, but Casey I think I last away because I ended up getting a lawyer and she didn't have one. So ibe qhadu fella because now I think una try a lawyer, I think pro bono or something,
Okay.
legal aid,
Legal aid.
yeah. And the guy never pitched. Every court case he was never there.
Okay.
Ibe qhadu was just like that.
What did your husband say there?
Well, my husband told me, like, one thing about my husband, he will tell me everything they say about me.
Yeah.
Even if I have or number, he will come and tell me. That is one thing. He will come and tell me. Even his colleagues. Some of them follow me on TikTok. They will tell my husband, wow.
Yeah.
My husband will come and
Yes.
tell me, Arya, that is my wife. And he will come and tell me. He doesn't mind coming during the day to come and report to me. Hey, mama, we laugh about it. That is one thing about my husband. He will tell me.
You know, as much as ke lagafane, ke bolela. One, I will never ever set my foot in front of my husband's baby mama. Ke re ke tlo go betha, what.
Now, if you disrespect me, I will. I'm one person, I keep to myself.
Yeah.
I don't like it when people poke me. Especially if I give you the benefit of the doubt and you keep doing it, you understand? Don't poke me. I keep to myself. Kidula haka, ke shabana le bana ba ka, Other than that, I do what I'm supposed to do. It's either gym, my daily routine, you understand? But I don't like it when people poke me. I retaliate in a bad way. That is my weakness.
Yeah. So why don't you tell your husband to speak with his... For example, I don't think I'll ever exchange words with my husband's baby mama. Like, we've got nothing to talk about.
Yes.
And I think now, it's even much more strong. Like I've got no business with you.
Yes.
Do you understand? Especially if we are not okay.
Yes.
If we're okay, we'll talk. Obviously,
We will talk. Yes.
like as co-parents
Yeah.
and stuff. But then now we've got no business at all. So my husband should be the one to speak about whether ba rogana ba dirang ba bolela ka nna. Don't come and tell me. Akere lena le bua ka nna. If she's talking about me more, when that means you have given her the platform to talk about me. If ko ga bone ba bolela ka nna, that means you have given them the platform to talk
Yes.
about me. Don't now come to me and report to me because one slick.
Yeah.
You know, just continue gossip with them, talk about me and all those things.
I think with me, it's the fact that I know that he tried to, you know, put the fire out. I know, but girl was so adamant. Girl was like, I am not giving up. If you check one of my videos, there's a video whereby she commented on my video.
Ha!
I made a video about baby mamas and then she commented.
What was the video about? What did you say on the video?
I'm not going anywhere. Whether you fight with your
Oh,
child.
I saw.
I am not going anywhere. This is my husband. I'm not going. That girl is dramatic. And I mean dramatic to the length, Yahore. It will include her family, you know. She's that dramatic. Yes.
When did they break up, your husband and his, prior to you guys being
Not
together?
even prior.
Oh,
my
she's justified.
I felt that way. The sad thing is, I didn't know. And this is just the honest truth. I didn't know. When I met my husband, he told me straight up that he has a baby mama. But apparently the baby mama doesn't like the other kids. So
for him it was
yes,
like, no.
yes. So nakitsibile guy ale single, honestly.
So, but then are you not scared now? Because now, are you not scared now that, because now Ukeni analyze this woman and then now you are coming out to say your deal breaker is if he's with somebody else. Is that maybe not your fear because that's how you got in, you know? Is that not like, not necessarily your deal breaker, but your fear because this is how you got in. Now you like, now the same thing that you have done to your thingy.
Not really. I don't think about it.
Yeah.
Why? Because I never had intentions of taking mutu wa mutu. You understand? I don't think about it.
Yeah.
But if it were to ever happen to me, I would excuse myself. I'm not one to be fighting for a man.
Yeah.
That is one thing I always say that...
But you are fighting for him though with your baby mama.
No, I'm not fighting for him.
You are fighting
I'm
for the
fighting for the fact that you are disrespecting me. Bua le ntate wa ngwana hao.
Yeah.
Discuss whatever it is that you guys need to discuss. Don't be dragging me into the conversation and
100%.
insulting me. I'm not fighting for my husband. People don't understand that. I will never, ever, even in one day, never. That can never be me.
Yeah.
That kind of dululu will never, ever locate me. But do not disrespect me. Why? Because I don't disrespect you.
Yeah.
I've got nothing. I don't have any business with you. But here you are insulting me every chance you get. I mean, this girl was insulting even my parents in the process. You understand? It was that bad. It was that bad. To a point that even my son was dragged into it.
Yeah.
I was not fighting for my husband.
The son that you came with, obviously.
Yes. In you are out there taking care of
Somebody else's child.
Yeah. You understand? Why? Why are you doing that? Luana baby daddy how talk about whatever it is that
Your
you guys
child.
want to. And my husband knows this. I will never. I'm not the type. Strict. Man, what's the word?
Boundary.
No, not boundary. I will never stop my husband from having a relationship with
restrict him
restrict, yes, that's the word I'm looking for. I will never restrict my husband from having a relationship with his kids. Be it they call him at 12, busibu arobet. If ngwana a hloka ntate wa hae, ntate wa hae ha tsohe. Ke re ke ngwana hae o. But I don't want to be disrespected in the process because I don't disrespect you. That's one thing people need to understand. I ke lwanele monna and I will never.
Yeah, the disrespect.
Don't disrespect me. Don't include my family in it. Don't include my son. Because the moment you do that, I can tolerate it. But now you are disrespecting innocent people that have nothing to do with it. You understand?
Do you think she's prolonging her hate at this point? Like, get over it. Like, this guy moved on. He's married. You can't still be crying that this guy cheated on you and then he got married. Do you think now isn't about Ella Fela? She's prolonging.
But in the last year, besides the video I commented on, she hasn't, done anything.
Crazy.
Yeah, unless until the time I gets it, my sister-in-law protection order. She was there supporting the sister-in-law. Ibile ba khisana ho ntso to wena kwena ngwana gona. Ba itlapa sefuba ba le happy ke re bonang di chiwa what's it.
Wena o tshwere monna ka.
Look at these people. They're so sure that I'm intimidated. I don't even care. Listen, I don't even want to have a relationship with my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
I am at peace with that. I don't want a relationship with her because she has shown me from day one who she is. And there's never going to be a day okay, this person will change and suddenly like me. No. So they can have a relationship, I don't care. It doesn't even bother me. It's their own. But don't disrespect me in the process.
But then how does it get there? As a married woman myself, right? I've been married for 6 years this year. I don't think, or maybe let me say never, but I'm just saying, as I'm looking, I don't think I'll reach a point where I fight with my in-laws. And primarily because I'm not in their space, they're not in my space, and they're not in my business.
Yes.
And I'll make sure of that.
Yes.
I will go, for example, this year was the first Christmas ever in 5 years that we got married, that we said, let's go and spend Christmas at home. Otherwise, we got married 5 years ago. The first Christmas, we just started our family tradition with our kids, you know, and we would go when we have to go, when we want to go.
Yes.
And we'll do things that we have and we can do, because we can't always do stuff for other people, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I won't speak to you just randomly. You won't just be calling me every day.
Yes.
Like, we are not friends. The same way me and my mother, we are not just calling each other every day. What?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll check on you here and there. My mother will chat. Stuff like that. I don't think we'll reach a point where I fight with them, because I've set like strict boundaries. I don't just go there. For example, even if I'll go there and then they're talking about maybe another Makoti, I don't participate in those things. Like I'll
keep your distance.
Yes.
I think I always say this, until you are in it, you will never understand.
You'll never understand.
Yeah, until you are in it. You know, with me, the difference is that my mother-in-law works behind my house. I live 2 minutes from the hospital. She works there.
Does she come when you guys were still okay? Was she coming to eat lunch?
Randomly lunch. I would take her lunch boxes.
You see that kind of a thing.
Listen,
you enabled her. How can you be taking a waker lunch boxes every day? No.
It wasn't every day.
Yeah.
It was times whereby she really needed it.
Yeah.
And she would call and say, "Batunkelibetis kaftin." And again, can you know? And I would be like, she's just 2 minutes away from me. And remember, I wanted to have a relationship so bad with these people. Not that I was desperate, but I wanted to have a relationship with them, right? So whatever good it is that I had to do, I did it. And I did it.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So with us, they are always, Bamon. You understand? They are just here. So it's not easy for them to not get, Also, me and my husband, we had a problem, we overshared.
That's the thing.
We overshared to a point, even when we wanted to get married, they wanted to choose colors and whatnot. And I was like, no. I was like, no, it's
You're
not.
inside my painting.
Yes,
now.
I'm like, no. This is too much now. We can't do this.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think it's enabling. Like, people get used to
a certain you, and then when you change,
they're like,
it comes off as disrespectful. Yeah.
Yes, you can't change. Because there need to be boundaries. Like, I love my in-laws too. We're always having the best times. They know I'm just a phone call away. Yeah. But the boundary needs to be set, and it needs to be so visible. The same way that they need to understand that they can call up on me and ask me for stuff.
When they need a favor.
Yes.
With us, remember I said that it started Kaka, my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
There were incidents. Remember, I was being cautioned in front of my sister-in-law, right? I felt like with me, I was not getting the same treatment. Why? Because she would do something. There was never a time whereby we had a meeting whereby I complained if she did something. It's either I would be told, no, but there was never a time whereby we sat together.
What is your problem?
Especially why I never included my family. So I expected my mother-in-law. My father-in-law is a very quiet person. He doesn't talk and he doesn't like to, And my mother-in-law, she's very vocal. I expected her the same treatment she's giving me. ha ifuele ngwana wa moo, you understand?
Di-meeting ke tsa eng? Nka go gafela ka mo meeting bjanong. O mpiditse ka meeting le family ka moka le nna ke le one.
Ke le one.
Le tla ntseba gabotse.
I'm telling you, ke le one. And at that time, let me tell you, you know this, how now ngwetsi e fihlang e tella.
No, you can't. Yes.
I would just sit there and cry, you know, I would just sit there and cry and apologize.
Okay.
That was me. I'm telling you, that was me. It's either I posted something on my status. I remember after
I had this friend whose family ba rata di meeting le bone. Ke le ngwetsi o tshwarela di meeting.
I was always in meetings. It's either meeting e lo tshwarela spetlele where she works, or it's either ka tlung. And the sister-in-law is there. There was one time whereby utule kitse bana ba ske ba chaka because ba tlo qeta dijo.
Bana ba bo ausi.
Yes. And by then we were not staying with my son. We didn't have a child of our own. I think it was relationship it was still new, but we were married. You understand? So bana ba batla hotla. I then told the eldest, you know what? How about you guys come month end, because no jena it's a bit tight.
Yes.
The snack for bana and babangata. You understand? The other one complained, they mustn't come at all because it was a meeting. It was a meeting. My husband don't phone what happened? No, luckily there was always someone to defend me.
Yes.
That's when the eldest, my sister-in-law that we got along, he defended me.
She
didn't say that, and she was talking to me directly. She told me that we can visit next week when everything is there. There was always
the
a
same
meeting.
way that you will say, come,
Exactly. I didn't want that. So now it became an issue. I said this and this and that. You understand? And she was always the one initiating it.
Yeah.
She was always the one initiating the meeting. And I would be put down, bang reprimanda. And I took it like a child. You understand? I took it like a child that I was at the time. I was very young. I got married when I was 24. Yeah, 24.
You will never set the meeting for me.
I'm telling you.
Never set
So with her, it was never the same thing. It was either untola redutsi kaofela. She would greet everyone. Hello, promise. Hello, mang. Hello, mang. When it comes to me, nothing.
Drama. And if you are 29 and another 40 mama.
That's the thing.
So
it
she
shows.
made you,
It shows her she didn't like me and she wasn't joking. It came to it was so bad to a point where she even broke my atuba koloi yak, atuba di festere tsa koloi yantsha di handle tsa koloi yak. I'm telling you.
Haibo.
And in my car that I bought with my money.
Your money, not his brother's money, not her brother's money.
My car. It was that bad. It's a protection order. I think everything crashed high more. Case.
Yeah.
My in-laws didn't expect me to retaliate in that way. Yeah. They were very angry. Why in case? I'm like, I'm here. Okay, my husband took my car. And now obviously I'm pregnant. And I'm pregnant. Mind you, we didn't have a nanny at that time. You understand? So I don't know how she got into my car.
Yeah.
But I understand my husband when he says, Onasna transport. And he went there, so I didn't think you'd mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing exactly how you feel about her.
Yes.
I didn't mind. Apparently, Lena that day she wanted to reconcile with me. But now it started from Musebetsi, they went out drinking. And then from there, my husband calls me, my husband's phone died. And then he calls me, the sister-in-law. And then I tried to call back. Apparently they had a punch-on. Did I not get insults of my life? And
yeah.
Including hormones.
Yes.
Hey, I went off. Anka stene ba chatla koloi.
Utlwetse mo phone.
Ke phone like a cousin. Yeah, my husband. Are go chatla koloi ya. Ha ke bua le wena no tjena, she's busy pulling out your handles. Tsa koloi. Okay, that's fine. I called my cousin. My cousin got it.
Where's your husband that time?
My husband, I think he was at the garage trying to change that. I don't know what he was doing there, but apparently he was at the garage. Yeah. And then I called my cousin. There. So I only got there in the mornings. When I got there in the morning, I was very angry. My car was bad, bruh. My car was bad. I still have pictures. I can't delete those pictures. It was so bad to a point. I was angry with my husband, honestly.
Yeah.
How dare you put your sister in my car?
In my car.
Because I don't overstep her boundaries.
Yes.
Ka Sesotho, when she got married, I was the one in the
Okay.
I refused. Why? Because she hates me. I refused straight up.
You were not performing your Makoti duties.
I'm not going to. I'm not
because
even
she's
going
not
to.
acknowledging you
She's
as
not.
the Makoti.
Yeah, I'm badly. You understand? So why must I go there?
Yeah. So you and your husband now, so how did you guys sort out your issues? This Christmas issue that just recently happened.
He saw my video on TikTok. He saw my video on TikTok. Ow. So I started well in the before post about I don't mind you posting. I'm not against this. No, because you decided to do this, then I decided to do that. I'm retaliating. Oh,
yes.
okay, it's fine. You did that. I acknowledge that. And then he set me down. He profusely he apologized. He said, I didn't think, because he called me that day. He says when he called, but my phone was on the charger. So he says when he called me, he wanted to know.
Yeah.
So because I'm not answering, then he just
continue.
So, but he apologized.
Yeah.
He was very sincere and
happened to really nice deco, intimate
cooked.
family.
I cooked the whole day from morning. You don't pitch. I cooked and I made his favorites, and he was not there.
He
didn't even pick up the drumstick.
At least try pick
up something.
Better one spoon.
Want something. Take something from the table. At least. But he apologized, and he's been apologizing.
Do you
even last night he apologized?
Yeah,
he's been apologizing.
Do you feel you're in a competition between the parents, the family? There's a competition between you and the family. Lilwela, this price.
Yeah.
Which is the husband and the son.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't feel like I'm competing. I feel like
they are competing.
They are competing. And do
you think you're gonna win?
I'm not even about to start the competition. I told my husband straight up, if it's a race, count me out.
Yeah.
I'm not about to start. It's either you know your role as my husband or you don't. But I am not about to start 3, 2, 1, go.
Who's gonna have him for Christmas?
Hey, who's having him today? Who's having him?
Yeah.
Know yourself, know what you want as a man. And from that, I will read what it is that you want. And if you're not going to do the things that you're supposed to do as my husband, I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna walk away. That's just it. I'm not gonna be competing the whole day. For what? I didn't even want that big house. He's the one that wanted that huge. I can't.
And then when you say that you almost broke up, you almost divorced.
Yes.
What were you guys fighting for?
In-laws.
These people are going to be your downfall, my friend.
I'm telling you, we are never fighting. It's never about us. It is. I will always say this. I've never caught my husband cheating. I have never. If he's cheating, then he's a good cheater.
Yeah.
Because I have never, and he's never given me that thing of I'm cheating. If my husband is out, he will report. Doesn't mind calling me, get a video call. Be it he's out with his friends, maybe give us see.
You said he even comes to pick you up to go with
I'm
friends.
telling you, we cruise. So he's never given me that thing where I'm cheating. It is always in-laws if we are fighting. It's either he's gonna complain that maybe they're defending me or maybe they're doing something. It's either
and I think for me, that is the most dangerous problem that could potentially end your marriage, because you
cannot compete.
You cannot.
That is why I say I will exclude myself from the equation. I will peacefully walk away.
Yeah.
You understand? There's no such thing and be mistreated. Oh, I can't. I can't shame. I can't.
Otherwise, you are happy.
I am
you
happy.
Guys
I
are
love my
thriving.
husband.
I love my
Ke
husband.
rata monna ka. Yo, ke mo beile mo.
And as we grow, I was still saying it feels so wholesome because as we grow, even how we sort out issues. I salele ya khale ya gore re tlo spend the whole day re kwatelane.
Molomo ko beile
O
mo.
mongwe kwa mo robetse kwa, you know, you
No.
mature, how you sort out issues, the conversations, how we deal with things in the household with the kids.
Yes.
It just grows, man. It's very nice.
And this man is hands-on.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing, he's hands-on. I wanted to drive myself here today. He said, let me take you. Sheba, I drive the maybe long distance. I just cruise nicely because
With
my husband is there. You know, he's always there. Even if Ahloka or Uncle leave, my husband will do that. With the kids, he's hands-on. He will help the kids. He attends meetings. Sheba, he doesn't mind changing diapers.
Yeah.
I think the kids, that is my husband. When our nanny is off, Munaka was saying he doesn't mind. I saying, I take care of Aboko. We are always helping each other. That is one thing I love about him. He's always there. He's hands-on.
Yeah, I wanted us to end on why you love your husband. I think you just said that he's hands-on, which is something that I love about my husband. And it did not just start.
Yes.
It did not just start by being that person, you know. As we're having our first child, our second child, my husband, when I had my first child, I was always like, oh, when my nanny is not there, I cannot go anywhere because my husband cannot stay with the child. Now it's like, leave the children, go to the studio, do this, do that, you know.
That is my husband.
Yeah.
Always hands-on.
That's what I love about him.
I love this man because besides being hands-on, he pushes me to the best of my ability. And I'm not limited, guys. Like maybe wearing short things. I love this woman. Yeah. So he's this guy, Opticop, my husband. I love this guy.
And another thing I love about my husband is that he's got a teachable spirit.
Yes.
More than me.
Yes.
Like my husband will be taught something. You will tell him that I don't want this, I don't want that. He'll say, okay, I'll change it.
Yes.
Then he will really
change
work
it.
on
Implement
it.
Yes. That is my
which
husband.
Is something that is difficult for me. I don't like it when you talk to me like that. You know?
Trumpet.
But for trumpet, you see that one?
The problem, my husband always says to me, I think trumpeta because you are short and you want to be heard.
Yes.
You always want to be heard.
Yes.
You know, if I was a very violent man, one slap you'd be out.
You're like
one slap,
and
I
that's
would be
the
out.
thing.
But now I will shout and shout and shout, and he just walks away. He calls me. Let's sit down. Now we are going to talk like adults. That's my husband.
You guys, that's just us and our husband and our children. That's really just us, guys. We really just want to thrive in our marriages.
Yes.
This year, my husband was still saying that. So we've went through therapy. I went through therapy by myself. He's done by himself. So this year he was like, we have to go together.
Yes.
We don't have issues. We don't have to wait for us to have issues.
That's the thing. People think you need to wait to have problems before you attend therapy. It's exactly what my husband and I were discussing. How about we attend therapy?
Yes.
You know, just to improve whatever it is that we are working on.
100%.
Just to improve. So you don't need to wait for everything to come crashing down. And because it becomes worse.
It becomes
Trust me, when me and my husband started therapy, it was worse.
Yeah.
I don't care. You can walk away, I can walk away. But I also thank God for Dr. Malebi because That man was patient.
Yeah.
That man was patient with
He has
us.
dealt with the worst people.
Hey!
It was like Lena Bana. Little right.
He said that
Yes.
by force. He said by force. This marriage was ordained by God.
Yeah.
And it's going to work. And it's working perfectly for us.
Guys, this is just a special for Bumakoti that, we're not imperfect. We have spoken about our imperfection in our marriages.
Yes.
You have spoken about it. I've spoken about it. However, it's the willingness of our husbands and us
Yes.
to make it work. And you need to have a forgiving spirit in marriage. If you don't forgive, you won't last in marriage. If you're holding grudges, you won't. It's not easy to forgive. But if you know the end goal, if you know what you want, you will learn to forgive.
And remember, it's there in the Bible as well, that love is kind. It's forgiving as well. It doesn't envy. It doesn't hold grudges.
Yeah.
It's there in the Bible. So if your marriage is led by God, if God is the center of your marriage, trust me, you always go back to the Bible.
Yeah.
You will always reflect on the Bible and say, you know what? Motona untshwaretse through this. I did this. Why can't I forgive him? You understand? One thing about us women is that we always victimize ourselves.
Always.
Victim. So the moment you can say, I am not perfect and I'm going to forgive, despite
it will be between the two people. In closing, what are your New Year's resolution as a wife? Your 2024. Maybe I should start so that you can gather yourself. My New Year's resolutions as a wife is to tone down on my tongue.
Yeah.
Is to talk kinder to my husband, to actually take to heart what he's saying he doesn't like about the things that I say.
Yes.
That's number one, to work on my delivery. Number two, I want to, you remember last year I started by saying I want to dress up in the house, look at the part even in the house. Yeah. I'm back there again. I want to make an effort, guys, in how I look, even in the house. You're not the only
one, trust me.
Yeah.
You're not the only one.
I will dress up and my husband will say we're going out and I'll change and dress up. And he will be like, why don't you wear that when you're in the house as well? Who's there outside, So I really, because also it just elevates your mood. It's not just about your husband. Like
it makes you feel good as an individual.
It makes you feel good as an individual. I think those are my two, and to make money. And to make money. I made quite a lot of money in 2023, thank God. But I want to make more money.
Yes.
That was 1 year that I've made the most money in my entire life.
Well, my New Year resolutions are, number one, I want to grow more spiritually. With my husband.
The spiritual part, yes, guys. My prayer life is on 0.
Mine is up there.
Oh my God.
Mine is up there to a point where my house, we hold a home cell. I'm telling you. Mine is up there. So I want to grow spiritually with my husband. The second one is I want to be more forgiving. I want to be more forgiving.
Yeah.
Even to the things that I feel like I didn't deserve. I want to forgive myself also because there are moments whereby I look back, I'm like, why? Because someone said something to me and you understand? So I want to be more forgiving to myself, and understand that I cannot be everyone's cup of tea. You understand? And the third one, I want to travel more. We've never traveled with my husband.
Okay. This year is the year of travel.
We were renting, we were renting, and then now we are starting businesses together, but this year, despite money, I want to travel.
Yes.
I want to travel with my husband, just the two of us.
Yes.
And no making babies.
Lina, my husband wants 2 more.
My husband wants 1 more. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I can't be going to the gym every day and then you tell me about it. But sometimes but sometimes you can see that it's something that he really wants. But
my husband is steadfast. He said 2. I was like, at least 1. So now he's stuck on 1 more.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where I'm gonna squeeze this child if I want to make billions. Where is this child gonna? When am I gonna carry this child and deliver them and be on maternity? And I don't know. I really don't have time anymore. But my husband is not budging.
Yeah.
And
the fourth one, Lina. I want to be more understanding.
Hey, bruh.
My husband's feelings. I want to be more understood. Hey, open a car Virginia guys, we were once called Kapuledula in Asia Kakoloyin.
Yeah.
Because if we are together, there's always food here.
Yes.
And we are eating. Be it
but they know you.
But this year, I want to,
Yes.
Keep to yourself.
And I think us keeping to ourselves need to come from realizing that these things hurt this man.
Yes.
Yeah, because to us it's like I can't nobody pull a
I'm just talking. I'm
like
venting.
get over it.
And I think with my husband, he's actually happy that I started talking on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because he says, hey, you are less harsher now.
Yeah.
You are less harsher.
So you've got where you offload.
Yes. You are less harsher. And I think it also comes with the fact that I mind what I say. Even if I'm going to be very brutal, but I mind what I say.
Yeah.
So I think he's happy about that.
Anyway, guys, this was such a wholesome conversation with my tribe. Well, my husband this, my husband that, my people. Guys, thank you so much for always stopping by my podcast. I really appreciate it. It shows in the revenue. This is one of my streams of income. And as I've said, I've made more money than I've ever in my entire life this year. And YouTube was one of it. My business, my work. I truly appreciate it. Please subscribe, it's free, and comment, share my videos, and. Anyway, guys, it's love and light from me. Thank you so much, Mrs. M. Did you tell them your name?
Mrs. M.
This is Mrs. M.
Mrs. M.
Mrs.
Not
MRS.
Mrs. It's Mrs.
Respect the title. Bye.